Phoenix World of Women podcast. Today is January, um, and it is January the 3rd, and Happy New Year 2023. I don't know about you, but I just feel that this year is really going fast already. So today is January 3rd already. We also had our, 31st, and now we're January 3rd. I pray and hope that everybody starts this year a good mood with lots of blessings, and we're all gonna accomplish all the goals that we have set for 2023 in Jesus' name. So today we're gonna talk about taking care of ourselves in so many different ways. Sometimes we know taking care of others helps us take care of ourselves. So there are different ways we take care of ourselves. So to start with, I'm going to call on Zach, my friend, to please come on and talk to us about one of the ways we take care of ourselves by taking care of our brothers and sisters. Come on,
Well,
Zach.
Zita, thank you very much for having me back on. I know it's been a day or two since I've been able to be here. One of the things that we love to tell everybody is if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. If you pass by someone that needs your help and it's within your means, and you don't help them, that's not doing anything that's fantastic. And as a matter of fact, you're just you're hoping somebody else will do what you could have done. And the truth is that if we all just do one little thing, that one little thing can turn into some great things down the line. And that's kind of what we're trying to do here with Community Pay It Forward and helping Zeta's Healthy Beginnings, along with, we were talking about him just a little bit ago before the show with Brian Gibson and Project Die Hard and so many other nonprofits throughout the world. So, but thank you for having me back on.
You're welcome. Always welcome. I know you guys are doing wonderful, wonderful work, you and your team. And I'm really hopeful that all this effort we all make, selfless service that we make every single day, is nothing but to enrich one another. And we know that once we are all enriched through one another's effort, it brings peace, more harmony, freedom, and happiness. And we know that it takes everybody, it takes all of us to really do what we need to do. And that is why we are here starting this year in a good way and inviting, encouraging, empowering, and challenging each other to come on up and do what we can do, what we've been gifted and talented to do, to help one another to really live a comfortable, deserved lifestyle.
That's so true, and I want to second something that you said there, and that is that the truth of the matter is that we are all one like people. Every single one of us has differences. I'm different than anybody else in this world, and for you to think that everybody ought to be like you, I think that would make for a very boring world. I appreciate everyone's differences, but the truth is that there's only one race in this world, and that is the human race. And we need to make sure that we care for each other as a people, and we need to stop worrying about all this other, the sexual orientation, the race wars, the male female binary. No, none of that matters. We're all the same people. Cold will kill every single one of us. If we get too cold, we can be hurt by that. If we get hungry, that can hurt us. That can kill us. We were Well, let's put it this way. There was an incident last night on National Football League where there was a well-trained, well-tuned athlete that had a heart attack, a 24-year-old young man who had a heart attack on the field and basically died on the field. They had to defibrillate him on the field. Everyone is the same. Every single one of us are here. We need to be taken care of. We need to take care of other people. And if we don't do that, then we're not living to the fullest extent of ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, you put that right, Zach. And I like what you said there about we do not have, I mean, sex is immaterial when we are talking about human race. And that brings me to an interesting short story I want to share. When I was I'm a midwife, you guys know that, and as a nurse. So several years ago, I was working in a maternity hospital in California. So this woman that was so excited having a baby, I think she had the first baby in a long while. She was waiting for this baby. Eventually, the baby was born, baby boy, and routinely we have a form that you have to fill out, with all kinds of questions. And one of the questions was, "What is the race?" So I was the one taking this, making the intake, and I congratulated her. We were all laughing and very happy with the baby, weighed the baby, did everything. So I said to her, she happened to be from another race. And I said to her, "So what is the race of your baby?" She looked at me and she said, "What other race do you want? This is a human race."
There you go. That's perfect, and it's one of those things that I still cannot believe in the year 2023 that we have to put our race down on a piece of paper no matter what
Yes,
we do.
I
And
know.
it doesn't make any sense to me because like I said before, it doesn't really matter in the end run, it doesn't matter what our nationality is.
Yeah.
Hey, every single one of us can take pride where we come from. My family crest is Germanic, and over in England, and but that doesn't change the fact that I am a human being first,
Right.
and that's what we should concentrate on.
Right.
So, but I that is kind of funny, and like I said, it makes me want to put down other all the time and just write in create some kind of different race, make up
Right.
the name of an alien or something, just because it's like, what, you want to know the truth. I'll if it's that important to you, I'm really going to confuse you. So
I know, right? Or even add as an option just to put human race and see what happens.
that's a good point. I think next time I will do that. So
Mhm.
I've got a couple doctor's appointments coming up for a neck surgery that I'm going to be
Right.
going through. I think I'm going to do that the next time I have to fill it out. So
Right.
I think I'm just going to put human in there.
Human race.
Yeah.
It's interesting how our people in power try to divide us instead of put us together. That's
You,
that's my only opinion, and I'm holding on to it because
you
I have,
know,
you know, I
yeah,
have.
and that's something that I've been getting into Twitter wars with all kinds of politicians because they keep wanting to take and bring up how the left does this, the right does that, and all I want to say is the truth is this: your truth is what you say, your truth is what you make it.
Mhm.
Okay, there's your truth, there's their truth, and then there's the real truth
Right.
right in the middle, and what they are loving right now, Zeta, is they're loving the fact that they have got us so confused and they've got us so angry at each other, and they're able to get away with anything. You look at what a lot of these politicians are doing right now, and I'm not, I'm just going to say it. If it was our kids, we beat them. we would beat them for if our kids acted like this. I've got two sons, one 29 and one 121, and a 17-year-old now, foster son. If they started acting like this, I would beat them, yeah, for some of the stuff that these crazy people say. So yeah, and they just, the truth is that they do. They love the divisiveness of what we do right now, and the truth is, right now is when we need to come together.
Yes.
So
And I think that's the point I was trying to make, is that as they try to divide us, those of us who have seen this light, those of us who have seen the symbol of love, and what what the message we send out there when we are collectively helping one another, we should be able to neutralize whatever it is, that they're throwing at us, because the light and darkness has no connection whatsoever. So no matter how darkness comes to take off the light that we have to say consciously no to it and persevere. It takes perseverance to win this war. This is war on humanity, and we must be awake and assured that together we shall win the war. And to know that this war is not coming from just one way, it is coming from different angles. But as long as we are aware, as long as we are alert to this reality, we will collectively win it. Because I believe I believe in the power of God. I believe in the power of the Most High. I believe that there are people in this world who are here to do more good than harm. People like you, Zach, Kat, Emily, myself, and very good other people who are giving their time, their energy, their intelligence, everything, to make sure that other people are being enriched and blessed every single day. I believe that God is not going to really leave us without, support and without blessings. So thank you so much for all you do, and let's all keep fighting on, especially 2023, because guess what? We must meet our goals.
yep. Well, and Zita, that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to join you today. Is I wanted to tell you how Community Pay It Forward, and tell everyone that's out there. I wanted to show them exactly how Community Pay It Forward can help you continue to do what you're doing with Zeta's Healthy Beginnings. We are proud to be associated with you, and be a driving force behind trying to raise money for what you do to get some of these hospitals built, to get the training built or done and everything. And we have a program that was thought of when I was down and out, when I was injured after being run off the road on my motorcycle. I was, left in a ditch for over 7 hours, and I ended up fracturing my skull and busting up my face, breaking my neck. And overall, I was just left with my life changed. And I figured, why just change my life? Let's change everybody's life, and let's make fundraising very, very simple. And so what we do, Zita, is we work with small to medium business owners all over the country, reaching out into some parts of the world, and trying to help them, trying to help people all over the world by simply, those businesses, every time we send someone to them, they will give us a referral fee. And that referral fee, we ask that customer to tell us who they support. So, Zita, what I'm saying is, anytime that any of your followers, and with which we've got 5 of them here watching us now, anytime any of your followers would want to shop with our partners, if they turned in the receipt to us, Zeta's Healthy Beginning can get a donation this way, simply by them shopping. They don't have to spend anything extra, no extra money whatsoever, not a penny more. They go to they go to one of our partners, they do their shopping with one of our partners, and they just say, you know what, Zach sent us from Community Pay It Forward, and that company is going to give us a referral award. And then we're going to take and turn around 80% of that referral award to you, Zita, to try to help you continue to do the good things that you do. And I think this is exactly what we were talking about, where this is something that if we eliminate the government, we show the government that we can do things on our own, maybe they're going to realize that we don't need them as much as they think we do. But, one of the things that we have created for you and for all of our other wonderful mission partners, because you guys do such wonderful things, is we have created a form. And the form, it's a shareable form that looks like this. And I created a QR code with a wonderful little logo in the middle of it there, and tried to make it look like, tried to match the colors and everything, and tried to make it one of, something that you'll love to share. But when people take and they bring this, or when they scan this code, and you are seeing this code, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, you are seeing the code. So when they scan the code right here, it's going to go to, and I need to shut this screen here. It's going to go to the, uh-oh, I messed it up. Look at that. So it's going to go to this form right here. Okay.
Yeah.
And this form is where, if you go to this link, and you can see by the finger on the screen that link is linked. And if you take and you just click on this screen, it takes you directly to all of our partners that have worked with us, that have said, you know what, Zach, we want to be part of what you're doing. We want to be part of what Zita's doing. We want to be part of what Brian's doing. We want to be part of a change. And all we need is people to shop with us. And when they shop with us, we'll give you a referral award, and you can do whatever you want to with it. And I've said that's great, because we're going to give 80% of that referral award to people like Zita's Healthy Beginnings. So all they have to do is come here and pick someone, anything that they need, and try to find the services in their area. Employee retention programs for businesses. This is a really big one. For My Card or Stride Solutions, Michael Latone, two wonderful partners that helps people do different things in the company. In a company. For My Card, you guys know Carolyn very well from Happy Neighborhood Project, and this is her wonderful business, and all you got to do is come here, and you can find out all about it. You take and you order your own For My Card, and Carolyn's going to give us a portion of that sale, and we're going to give that portion of we're going to give 80% of whatever she gives directly to you, Zita, because we truly believe and we truly love what you do. So once again, the most important thing is find a QR code and share out that shareable that I sent you guys. And if you guys would like that, you can always email me at zach@communitypayitforward.us, and I'll send it to you. I'll send you all the information that you need. Once again, that email address is zach@communitypayitforward.us. If you are hearing this, because we will be playing this show again tomorrow night on the PAC channel, and if you're hearing this and you would like to get involved, we beg you to please get a hold of us, because we're looking for every business in the world to say, you know what, we want to be part of the solution. And our goal is to have it to where when you make your honeydew list, and let's be honest, guys, every single one of us has that honeydew list. We get that honeydew list weekly at least, if not daily. what we want to do is we want to be able to sit there and go, wow, look at this. We can accomplish 5 of the 7 things right here using community pay it forward. We can donate to one cause 5 times or 5 different causes once. And this is a way that we can take, and once again, we can all come together as a group, as a human race. We can come together and make our shopping count for so much more than just materials or lessons or whatever they are. This can also be a way to sustain wonderful programs like Zeta's Healthy Beginnings.
Thank you so much, Zach. That's really awesome. I know that every single one of us living in this country has something they want to purchase. And from home improvement to food to clothing to child care to senior care services and all kinds. So when you look at when Zach clicked on that, Zach, can you go back and click on that just once more? Because I just looked at it and it has every single thing under the sun that one can look at, and you cannot tell me you don't need any of that. We all do. Look at that. Auto insurance, look at that. So this is a way to really give it forward for all of us, especially supporting Zeta's Healthy Beginnings. Look at everything that each one of us needs. We have people who are out there to support us, who want to, really support us through us inviting people to buy the products. You don't have to put any extra money when you purchase this. Just go online through the link that Zach has put out there, and you see all of this list. You can find anything and everything that you want, and that's all you need to do, including look at even shipping and freight. So whatever you invest in here really is going to support us, and we are really thankful that Zach was able to put all of this together from our lovely friends and partners. And all you need to do is just go in there, do any kind of shopping that you want, and a percentage will go to Zeta's Healthy Beginnings. And I thank you as you look at this, as you share it, as you take advantage of it, and know that as you're doing that, you're really supporting someone here in the United States, a woman, a man, a child, a family, because we are all about families. Look at all the projects we are doing, supporting women and children at different levels, educating them, doing training for doulas, trying to build a clinic where women and children can get opportunity to really get the healthcare services that they need. So when you think about all of this is all for humanity. You want to be a humanitarian, you don't have to look further. This is the perfect, one of the perfect ways of becoming one. So this already we have shared on our website. We will also, Emily has my contact list. So I'm hoping that Emily will be able to also email this to all my contacts. And I think, great. Yeah, we have to be consistent with that, because it doesn't really get into people's head at once, because people are being bombarded every day with stuff, but if we are periodically reminding our customers, reminding our partners that we have something like this, it will really help them to know that there are other people who want to help in this manner. And that might also help them to think, more about other ways to support us, to support Zach, and to support all of us who are into humanitarian services. And I to be honest that serving humanity is one of the best things that has ever happened to me as a missionary. Because when you give to others, it comes right back. and you don't know how it's going to come, but it does come. I can assure you that because I have lived it, and I know that it is true. So, Zach, thank you for sharing. And please, this is very simple. Follow
Yes, yeah.
the.
I wanted to just show that real quick, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Yeah.
What we've got this set up to where you can either take a picture of the receipt that you get, or you can upload the receipt that you get. If you get it by email, you just upload or take a picture of the receipt. All we ask for is your name and the email. Those are the only two things that are required. But if you would like to dedicate, say you want to dedicate your receipt in the name of your mom, who was a doula, you can dedicate your receipt in the name, and Zeta will know that this comes in dedication to your dedicate who you dedicated it. We ask you if you would like to give us your phone number and your address, and then we ask if we can put you on our mailing lists, and then you hit submit. That's all we're asking of you to do. There is no other place on here to donate any extra money
Mhm.
because we don't want your money. We want you to keep your money and continue to shop with people.
Right.
So continue to shop and continue to support small to medium business and help them help us grow. And one other thing I wanted to say real quick before I jump off here, and again, thank you for allowing me to come on. But any business that comes to us and says, you know what, I heard you on Zeta's show, we want in, and they dedicate themselves to joining us in a palladium or a gold or a platinum package, we will donate up to a quarter of that. If you come and join us as a business, as a partner, we will donate up to a quarter back to Zeta. So, let's do business together. Let's do business and let's help other people out because that's what this is. I'm going to call it a game because life can be a game, and that's what this is. It's all about helping each other out, and I think that these two programs are in a marriage in that belief that every single one of us can do things to help each other out,
Mhm.
and Zeta, I'm very proud to be associated with what you do and strengthening women all over the world, and all the accomplishments that you've been able to make, and the continuing growth of your show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Zach. And I have a question for you before you jump off.
Yes.
So, are we looking at this locally or internationally? Because I know there are people in Canada and the UK. Can we stretch to that, or even some places in Africa? Can we really stretch, or is it just local?
The great thing about this, Zeta, is because I am not a nonprofit, we help nonprofits because I didn't apply for a nonprofit status. We
Okay.
have the ability to help anyone anywhere.
Okay.
And that's what we want to do. We want to be a part of the solution. We want to
Mhm.
be part of helping people everywhere. That
Okay.
is our goal. That is what we're here to do.
Okay. Okay.
So you're
Awesome.
in Canada, Australia. We have another couple partners that we're helping in Africa build schools.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good.
those are just two more people, or two more instances where one's a college and one is a grade school, so kids can get food,
Right.
which is something that it's an unfortunate fact that, and you're well aware of this, Zeta, that not all the kids in Africa, we say, kids getting food in school here in the United States. That's just like, yeah, well, duh. That's not the way it is around the world. And kids in Africa, that might be the only food they get for the day. So, we love being part of trying to help Happy Gardens, and it's truly an honor to be able to help anybody and everybody that we can, including giving away free clothing, free housewares, free furniture right here locally. Sending stuff to areas where it's desperately needed after these hurricanes or floods or fires or whatever it is. So it's this is truly not a get rich program, that's for sure. But you know what? I get enrichment, if you will. So I'm pretty good with that. I mean, nobody goes into business to be broke, but I'll tell you, I don't mind giving away everything I got right now just to support these wonderful causes like yours, like Brian's, like JR's. We're all out here trying to make a difference.
Yes, absolutely. And one thing I know for sure is that anyone that gives generously always receives back in so many different ways. So don't think that when you purchase some of these products that you're throwing your money away. No, just know that you are supporting a cause. Just know that. And that money not only brings you, satisfies you maybe materially, but spiritually it enriches you. And we know that that spiritual enrichment is what every one of us longs for, because guess what? When you have that spiritually enriched, it flows through your physical being. So let's just bear that in mind as we move into the new year and have this opportunity to really make it happen for ourselves and for the less privileged among us.
And one of the other things that we've got on there, one of the things that's almost it's fairly new, but we're pretty excited about it, is we've got a dollar store that we have full access to. And the greatest thing about our dollar store is it's part of the company. We have the rights to this dollar store, and the best thing about our dollar store, you don't have to walk into a dollar store. Okay, I'm a big fat guy, so every time I walk into a dollar store, I feel like Godzilla on Tokyo. I really do. I mean, there's stuff in the aisles. The aisles are so squished together and stuff. Our dollar store, you get to sit at home, you get the items delivered to your door. It's a wonderful thing. And you get to donate to two separate causes. One of them being the cause of your choice, and the other cause goes to our heroes, both country and community, supporting our veterans, supporting uh, our law enforcement officers, our teachers, and stuff like that. So, but we're changing all the time, and the one thing that we're going to ask is, if you know somebody who sells anything or offers a product or service, let's have a conversation, because this is the best way to get your name out there, and say, you know what, I don't support one thing, I support everything in the world, and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Awesome. And there's no limit to the list. The list goes on and on and on and on, and it's very diverse. So there's
You
no
know,
cues whatsoever.
in the
Yeah.
way that the world is now, maybe, 30, 40 years ago, people wouldn't be coming to your small town. But the way the business is now, with, small business being taken place in your office, in your home office, right here, you know, even having a small restaurant that maybe nobody has ever even heard of, this is the time to, you know what, come with us, learn about what we do, and make it to where anytime somebody orders a cheeseburger from your small restaurant, that can be $2 that goes to a great cause. you
Mhm.
know we don't limit you on what you can give back. And that's the other thing, is that what you give back is, you decide what you give back. It's not my money. I don't tell you what to give back. You tell us what you're willing to give to someone else. So
Mhm. So these companies or these small businesses, when they approach you to have them put on the list, Is there any cost to that? Because I didn't see that explained there, or I missed it. Did I miss that?
There's one package that's absolutely no upfront cost.
Okay.
It's just it is what it is. It's kind of bare bones minimum, and then we've got some that are we've got four different packages to where each one you get a little bit more. Yeah, and that's because Zita, I still run this company off my disability. And I do have a new wife. And every time I go, well, geez, I'd love to pay the mortgage, but I just paid for, I just paid for this service that works, for work. She doesn't like that answer very much. She tends to like want to rap upon my skull a little bit. So as caring and as giving as I try to be, she can be very giving too, with, my head in a rolling pin. So, but we're just trying to take in and come to a happy medium to where we can try to get this to work for everyone, and that's where having people like our gold and our platinum partners or sponsors, they become so important because they're able to help us do
Right.
some, keep our lights on. So
Right. I understand
because
that.
while I look better in a very dark room, I do business that way. So
Thank you so much, Zach, for coming. And I really appreciate your time, your generosity. And I think that really stems from your mom. Because I remember last year when your mom came around and shared the awesome work she has done for years. I was blown at the woman's generosity. And here you are now carrying, moving on with it. That's really a joy.
that's
Yeah,
one
your
of the
mom.
programs that
Yeah.
we've adapted Dare to Care, Immunity Dare to Care, and we took a bit of what she did and a lot bit of what we have done since the creation, and that's where we give away. If somebody comes to us and they make clothing to us, that clothing doesn't get sold, Zita. That clothing goes to people who come to us and say, you know what, my kid does not have a nice pair of shoes to go to school. And we've got other people who are like going, well, I've wore these shoes for 3 days, so they're old. And it's like,
Right.
okay, well, we can find a home for them. But the
Right.
thing is that we don't want to sell it. And my joke on that is I've been married a couple times and I've never liked going shopping with any of my wives, and I don't want to shop with your wife. I really don't. So if we just give it away, they can come in, they can grab it, and they can go. So I don't want to be there, and inventory is not my skill. So if we just give away free stuff, it doesn't affect my bottom line. Besides that, people donate to us because they know that we're going to give it to people who need it. It's not for a Halloween costume. It's not going for people who are just, out because they want the retro look or whatever. These are actually people who need our help, and on my podcast on Wednesday, we ended up having a lady who lived in a quadplex that home caught on fire on Christmas Day. And so we were able to help out some of the families there. So and we're still trying to find ways to help out that family, those families, and that's one of the greatest things that I can say is, you know what, I have somebody come up to us and say, you know what, we were in a situation where our house caught on fire, our kids' clothes are lost, and we can say, get them in here, get them in here. We can bring them in, get them some clothes, we can get them some toys, we can get them some stuff. Because the one thing that everybody needs to realize, that even if they have a house fire or something like that, the most important thing that we want them to know is you lost a lot. We absolutely understand that. But I need you to look to your left and look to your right, because you didn't lose everything, because you've still got your family. You've still got the things that matter the most. that is, we can replace everything else. If you lost a life, we can't. There's none of us who can replace that.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Yeah, your Zach, your mom, when she was on before, seemed to really enjoy herself. But as I'm sure that you know, she's come on the show anytime that you'd like.
yeah, she's going through some pretty severe pains right now. Unfortunately, she is recovering from skin cancer of the nose. She's had to have a couple surgeries and taken some skin grafts and stuff off of her nose. So she's not. Um, and as happens in life, she's getting a little older, so her walking back and forth is not something that's coming too easy for her. But maybe one of these days I'll be able to drop off a laptop to her and make sure that I get it correctly connected for her, so I'm not having her try to figure out my laptop and tuning into something she probably shouldn't. Because I've got friends like Kurt that go onto weird websites.
Yeah, please send her our love. I'm
Yeah.
praying for her, and I know she will recover perfectly with time. She needs to take her time and rest. Rest is the biggest thing. I know for someone that active, it's a challenge for her, but he takes rest, a lot of rest.
That is true.
Yeah, so I just want to remind you that she's welcome to come on once she rests and gets a little better.
I will remind her, but I've got to let you go. So thank you, everyone, and
thank you, Zach. Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Please just remember we're communitypayitforward.us. That's communitypayitforward.us. Come and browse around, take a look at it. Join us on the PAC channels where you can find Zita's Healthy Beginnings. Join us on February 22nd. It is a Wednesday this year, where we are going to be having our second 22-hour podcast, and we're going to be exploring more about the benefits of talking to our patients' heroes and discovering how to hold those conversations that could save a life. So,
right. Thank you so much, and
no problem. Thank you, everyone. Kurt, you look beautiful today.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Goodbye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, Kat and Emily. Any comments?
Zach is awesome.
Yes. Yes, that was a wonderful message you shared with us. And like I said, I have many people on my list. I'm still updating the list, but you have that. So please write a little email and send that information across, because I know that some of my friends would be glad to see that and look at it and see how they can, support us. Now that people have different options to support, some people, like to do that. I remember on the 13th of December, we did something with our holiday shopping with 10,000 villages. And it was really very beneficial on both ways, because they were able to get more customers come to know who they are. And we were able to get some, reward from that. Some portion of the their sales was donated to us, and to help Sita's Healthy Beginnings. And I am so thankful. So if we continue to do this, to let people know that there are other options that they can utilize to actually help us help other people, that would be great. So thank you for sending out that email. So, Kat, do you have something to say?
Yes. Tonight's conversation really, puts me in a place of, kind of an opportunity for nonprofits. And the opportunity here is really where Zach is really instrumental in showing, kind of where my work has been for, and and with the Happy Neighborhood Project and the Mutual Aid Network, Humans United and Mutual Aid Networks, the side where these organizations are teaching me and us about co-ops. When we got introduced to the co-op for the Happy Neighborhood Project, the Happy Co-op, the expert that presented the mastermind blueprint, taught us that it's pretty routine, a pretty household thing that people understand nonprofits and they understand companies or for-profits, but the part that is commonly left out, which is a little ironic because there's a culture out there where there's a lot of people around the world that are very prideful, and not prideful in kind of like, oh, look at me. No, it's the exact opposite. It's where we look at history and we look at the history of humankind and we look at what's been working over the eras of time. And there's a commoner format where, when we look at when people come together and everybody's in it for the common good, that, all the good things in life are commonplace. And, goodwill is commonly done. That gets us in the direction of understanding this standpoint of being a commoner. And so it's an uncommon disposition. And so this is the opportunity here, Zita, is when we look at, from my standpoint, I don't know if this is the evidence of everybody in the world, but as I look at my 51 years of life, and I look at how adults have been so there for me, and adults have put me in a position to really make it like Edwin talks about, happiness as a default position. I was taught service as a default position. And to me, I'm thankful to Edwin because I'm seeing now at this stage of life where it all fits together. And seeing Zach with Community Pay It Forward, and he lives, eats, and breathes his business model and his brand. Community Pay It Forward. And there's really a deep message in that. If we really think about that, Community Pay It Forward. And I threw in that part about commoners. What if it was common in all of our communities that it was common that we pay it forward? That we have the greater good, at the forefront. I just came back from a funeral and just heard a very moving life story about a woman, a lady that lived, in some sense, like in a common way, a majestic life. And, in her, devotion, in how she grounded her soul. And, just to see the photographs of everything that she was able to do in her lifetime and everything her family is able to celebrate tonight, another night without the matriarch of the family. And to look at how she was right there with, showing a lot of pictures were with babies in her arms. Her arms. and to just really look at this opportunity about legacy. And so again, with nonprofits, if we can teach nonprofits about the role of cooperative work or the role of a cooperative format, an entity that is a co-op, and whether somebody wants to form one or not, to unite with all the cooperatives out there. And there actually is an organization that does unite, cooperatives together to get them all cooperating and co-producing. And so to me, this is what it's about. When I hear Zach, creating a queue, as maybe more English over in England would say, but the other parts of the world, they use that term queue a lot more than we do here in the US. But I really see his trajectory where if we unite with him, in this large scale way, to be able to line up for-profit businesses to work with the nonprofit businesses and that consumer function and this triad, he is functioning so well. And if we can work with Zach to bring to his business model, the cooperative, not that he would change anything he's doing, but as a good neighbor, to have that cooperative element through the Happy Neighborhood Project and through Mutual Aid Network and other great co-ops that we haven't learned about yet, we could really empower people at home and organizations to do good work and to really feed and fuel great missions like at Zita's Healthy Beginning, and to really reignite and reground this mooring, this standard of life. One thing I'm dealing with is I'm going to be going to my school district and meeting with the superintendent of schools, who's a great guy, great work. He's one of the highest paid superintendents of schools in the state of Wisconsin, which means he's got to be top ranking and pay, pretty well across the country too, probably in the top 300 in the country. I don't know, I'd have to look it up. But I'm in meeting with him and the principal of my daughter's school because there was some behavior that I'm going in there to propose that's pretty obvious. This is not the type of activity with what this story is. I'm not going to go into it, but it's just there's things that our youth can get to doing that it's time for the adult community to step in and to really say, what are we doing in being there for our youth as a collective, not to pick on any one student or any small group of students, to take like my daughter's 8th grade class and to say, what can we do for this whole class? And to look at like this is 8th grade, and to go to 7th grade and to say, this is getting to be some bad examples for those 7th graders. And then you got to think they're going to go on high school. So if we don't do something the next few months, the high school is just going to inherit this propensity for destructive decisions, or just kind of being a little rebellious, or whether it's like retaliation. I don't know what the whole psychology is behind this delinquency. There's a lot of things out there that need attention, and it really is something where we got to help people in the adults. We got to help adults be mindful to say that we're under a lot of stress. Bring in the money to our homes, to pay the bills, to make sure if we have a family that children are getting here, there, wherever they need to be. Like tonight, went to a funeral. Things like that are always popping up, and we're always distracted. So how are we staying grounded to make sure that the important things in life are being put at the forefront, and we're taking care of first things first? And Zia, I've told you this before when I was honored to be able to meet you, a year and however many months ago that was. Because with Zita's Healthy Beginnings and the work you do as a midwife, and that your passion is to help, create competency with doulas and everything you're doing and getting right in there with babies and children. When I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, I heard that all the time, the babies, women and children and all that. And you still hear that quite a bit, at least for me. But I also feel that I don't hear it. I don't think it's at the magnitude it was a couple and a few. And I think it's because of technology and things that get us distracted into other things. I just kind of sense that there needs to be a little calibration here. And, in your nonprofit, Zita, I think featuring Zita's Healthy Beginnings is so key. And I think that's why Brian Gibson with Project Die Hard loves teaming up with you, because in the veteran services world, it's a little tough to make it a common thing that veteran services are also serving the family. And I think this partnership between Zita's Healthy Beginnings and Project Die Hard, all with the system energy and resource from Community Pay It Forward, and then the great collaboration with JR at the Veterans Ranch. To me, this is a great story about how for-profits like Community Pay It Forward can work together with nonprofits and be a part of the marketplace, and like the fundraiser you have. Mm-hmm. Let me just park my thoughts there, Zita. I don't know if I really got any sort of a follow-up from your fundraiser. Kind of what were the outcomes of that? Can you go into that a little bit with your, is it 10,000 villages? I forgot how many thousands of villages.
Oh yeah, it was the 10,000 villages. I think maybe it's 902. If we can really stop our thing and then we can talk about it, or do you want me to talk about it on this? Yeah. I don't know what you think, because it's a little bit too long.
Well, yeah, we could make that something for next week. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I do see here
So yes, we can do that because that's really an important topic to talk about. The history of 10,000 villages is an interesting one, and really I want to take our time to talk about, and to let people know what other people are doing in order to support, the people in need, both here and overseas. So I'm glad that Zach is able to do what he's doing, and also open extending it to people beyond the United States, businesses beyond the United States, and that would be a good thing, because all that is doing is really letting people get the opportunity of a collaboration and helping, being humanitarians wherever they are. So I'm glad that he's making that happen, and it is through you guys also, the podcast, through the Word of Ability podcast, in collaboration with Transform You Network and Park. So this is really the communal way that we are all embracing to bring blessings to people that need it most, and pretty much to everybody. And I know that we're all taking time, we are putting our time, talents, and skills to make this happen for all of us. So I'm appreciative of what you and Emily are doing, and what Zach is also doing. And I'm using this opportunity to let our friends know that as we get into 2023, much the harvest is plenty. We need more people to help us to be more humanitarians, and I know it's possible. So I'm thankful for all we are doing collectively, and I'm looking forward to more collaboration with our friends out there.
Yeah, Kurt, it reminds me of Zach, it reminds me of the Mutual Aid Network.
What? What did you say?
Kurt, I was talking to Kurt.
Oh, okay.
If you heard me.
Kurt, did you?
Yeah, you're saying Zach reminds you of the Mutual Aid Network?
Yeah.
Okay. When is Mutual
Is
Aid Network? Tomorrow?
They had a meeting today. There's another thing on Friday.
Yeah, that's one on Fridays too. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So thank you all for this wonderful evening's podcast. And I hope to see you next week. Thank you and have a good night.
Nay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Emily, did you stop
Recording
recording?
stopped.
There we go. Good. We should get Stephanie and Zach to. I know they've met. But if there's any way